Hi, everybody. It's day 42 of lockdown here in the UK, and welcome to the first edition of Two Solo News, where I talk about what is going on with my around the world flight, speak to people involved, and check out some of the equipment that I'll be using or taking with me. This show is about Russia, one of the countries that I'm most excited to visit, and over a quarter of my route. I'll be talking to Evgeny Kabanov of MAK General Aviation Services. He doesn't actually know this, but he's probably the most important person in my around the world flight. Evgeny owns and runs MAK General Aviation Services, which is the overflight company which will help me while I'm flying over and through Russia. But he's also the person that made the Russian route possible. When my dad and I first started talking about the route back in, I would take around the world back in 2018. My dad wasn't really happy about traveling down to the Far East. This was because of the weather they have down there, the unpredictable monsoons. Whereas the Russian weather is a lot more predictable. He heard about the horror stories, of past Earthrounders who flew through this terrible weather, or maybe got stuck on the ground for 2 weeks, or more, just to wait out this weather. So my dad didn't really feel comfortable about that, but Evgeny changed all of that by making it possible for general aviation to cross Russia. Prior to 2018, that wasn't even possible. So I actually have a lot to thank for this guy. So let's bring Evgeny in and ask him how he managed to make such a big change to general aviation and what MAK Aviation does for people that want to fly across Russia. Привет, Evgeny. Great to talk to you again, and thank you for coming on my show.
Привет. Good to talk to you, Travis. Thank you for inviting me. I heard you were learning Russian. How is it coming along? Or should I say, ты говоришь по-русски?
Немного, Evgeny, немного. Yeah, изуча. Yeah, I'm learning. Изуча. Yeah, изуча.
I think we need to test you later.
Yeah, da. We should definitely do that. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous for it, but let's definitely do it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm ready. Yeah, and I hope I'll pass. So yeah.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, but to let you all in on this, I've been learning Russian for the past nearly a year now. And it's doing it in preparation for my flight across Russia to help me communicate with some of the air traffic controllers over there who a lot of the time aren't the best of speaking English. So, and also to help me get around while I'm there in Russia. So and also a bit of a hobby during lockdown, bit of fun just to learn Russian as well. So I think it's fair to say, Evgeny, that will help me while I'm in Russia.
Yeah, it surely will be exciting, and the controllers will be happy if you speak at least some minimum set of Russian words, Russian phrases.
Yeah.
They will really enjoy it because for them it's also a matter of respect.
Okay.
Foreign pilot tries at least to respect the local language. But anyway, traffic controllers will be mostly speaking with you in English to keep the integrity.
Yeah. Well, I worry a little bit about not understanding air traffic controllers on approaches to some remote airfields like Magadan, for example. I worry that something can go wrong there.
You will be mostly landing at international airports.
Okay.
The traffic controllers do speak English because airports are international, open for international traffic. But on your route, there will be some smaller airfields which are not international, and we will arrange that there will be English-speaking controllers for security, for safety, everybody on the ground and in the air.
Great. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. But another concern, and probably a bigger concern, is COVID. Can you tell me about the latest COVID situation in Russia? And how likely is it to affect my plans traveling through the country?
I believe we have a situation much better than you currently have in UK. We are really seeing decrease in number of people ill, infected, and that's really so. Government is quite optimistic that there will be no third wave and that pandemic is gradually disappearing.
Great. Well, that's great to hear. It's a lot. Sounds like it's a lot better than it is here. I'm not at school or anything. Everything's locked down here. But my plans for flying around the world is very much dependent on flying through Russia and MAK General Aviation Services. I mean, could you tell me how you started and how did you manage to open up Russia to General Aviation?
It started, well, I have been flying a lot by myself. In many countries, I have been flying in 60 countries of the world. And I could compare general aviation development and freedom in countries in Europe, let's say in the west of the world and on the east of the world. And I understood that in Russia we had a lot of restrictions which are created and which were generally adopted to big commercial aviation, because the rules mainly protect local carriers, local commercial airlines, and when foreign company wants to carry passengers, they should not affect the business of local carriers. That is the heritage that we received from Soviet Union. But the regulation itself, it just totally ignored the light general aviation, as if it doesn't exist, because it never existed in the Soviet Union. You were not allowed to have a private aircraft by yourself. Everything belonged to the state, to the government-owned enterprises or military. But regulation was way behind the real life and the development and evolvement of the infrastructure in Russia. People started flying on their own. They were buying aircrafts, they were buying planes, helicopters. They were building from scratch small airfields. They wanted to fly gliders, balloons, everything that could go above the ground started suddenly flying, while the laws and the regulation was still very, very archaic and very old-fashioned, coming from the Soviet times. So we started talking to regulator in our country if there is possibilities to loosen somehow, to make it more open, and it turned out that of course it is. So we have started kind of telling people whom we know that Russia is open. It's not that closed, that totally as isolated as it used to be. You can, yes, there are some limitations. There were some misunderstanding and misperception from the people on the ground how foreign aircraft may fly. Now it's all gone. They are so accustomed to foreign pilots, to foreign Cessnas, Pipers, Beechcraft, whatever, that everybody is really welcome, really welcome. And then gradually, step by step, we have seen great interest from the pilots around the world to come to this country, not only because they want to visit Moscow and St. Petersburg, but because they are doing their record flights, because they want to see the country from above in remote places. There are really a lot of scenery, a lot of beautiful nature, unique places to see and to enjoy. So step by step, gradually, the community in the world learned that Russia is open.
Great. Well, I mean, thank God that Russia has opened up to general aviation, and you allow general aviation flights to come here. A lot of people I know are interested in flying in Russia. And can you tell me, to some of my friends who are interested, or any followers who are interested in flying in Russia, what MAK General Aviation Services does?
We provide you full time, 24 hours a day support when you are in flight. We do not leave you on your own when you are flying above Siberia, not knowing to whom to address if something happens. I mean, we are really 24 hours a day on duty while you are flying in Russia. But whatever question you have about the weather, about who will pick you up in the airport after you land, who will bring you from the hotel to the airport, where should you dine or where should you go for night rest and so on. We cover all these matters, being behind the scenes. So what you really have to do, just fly, just safely fly and enjoy the trip. We are arranging everything while you are in the air. If you need some rerouting coordination with local traffic services, that you cannot go there because there is a thunderstorm and controllers do not understand why you don't go there if you can fly flight level 300, for example. Can you avoid it? Yeah, you can, but you cannot reach that altitude.
No.
So you need to change. You need to fly not today because the weather is bad, but the day after tomorrow because there is a cyclone or anticyclone and you need to wait while the bad weather passes. And that needs coordination and rearrangements. We do it 24 hours a day. So you enjoy your trip and you enjoy the flying experience itself. You don't have headache about who will file my flight plan because I don't know how to file them in Russian. We do it.
Yep. Okay, well that sounds great. I mean, it sounds so easy for general aviation pilots in Russia to, foreign general aviation pilots to fly into Russia with the help from you. So with help from MAK General Aviation Services. But I'm sure a lot of people were thinking, will think of MiG escorts, no-fly zones away from military air bases. I mean, what's the real attitude to Western aviation in Russia?
I have to tell you the sad truth. There will not be MiG-29 escorts when you fly. I'm really sorry to tell you to say that, but it will not be, it will not be that honor.
That would be exciting.
Attitude is very positive indeed.
Great.
We have probably two types of persons, of people involved in aviation. There are private pilots who are very welcoming, who are the same blood as you are. And of course, we are people who are employed by government and who are providing the air navigation services. Many of them are speaking fluent English. They have traveled the world. They have seen aviation in other countries. And they are also very eager to make that simple and easy flying for foreign people in our country, like they experience when they fly in other countries, not in Russia.
Yeah, well, I've heard that. Yeah, I've spoken to many past Earth rounders who've flown through Russia, and they just say, the Russian people are the nicest people. They're so welcoming. They helped them whenever they needed help. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all these different people in Russia, and experiencing what it's like there. But can you tell me about some of the places I'll be stopping at and what I might not miss seeing?
I believe your route comprises a lot of interesting places. Moscow is, of course, number one. Your stay in Moscow is a must because it's the capital and it's a really huge city. You will enjoy it. Then going further east, you will be landing at Irkutsk, which is on the banks of Lake Baikal. and that's the natural beauty, natural, I would say, gem which you have to see from above, maybe from the ground. It's absolutely amazing lake, which is 600 kilometers long, and it's really like a sea, biggest lake in the world. And then, of course, the most eastern part of the country, which is Magadan and Anadyr, those very interesting places. You will enjoy it because it's already a mixture of Inuit culture, which is both on Russian side and on United States side. It's the tribes that lived there before Europeans came, and they are living on both sides of Bering Strait.
Wow.
It's very interesting to see. You will really enjoy it.
Great. Oh yeah, that does sound really exciting. I can't wait to go to all these places. I mean, out of all the countries that I'll be going to while I'm flying around the world, Russia is definitely the top one for me. I'm definitely most excited to go in there. It's so to Western to Westerners really, it's quite unknown. To a lot of us. So and to me as well. So I'm really looking forward to exploring it. Yeah.
Frankly speaking, it's even very unknown to ourselves as well.
Yeah, Siberia and
it's so big, so huge that there are places that 99.99% of Russians have never been and will never be. And seeing it from above, seeing it from your aircraft is just amazing experience. Amazing.
I can't wait. I actually can't wait. Okay, so we're talking about place I'll be visiting in Russia. What's the most isolated, remote stop that I'll be visiting, and where will I stay while I'm there?
There will be a city of Evensk,
Okay.
Between Magadan and Anadyr, which is a very small settlement on the Sea of Okhotsk.
Yep.
There are no hotels, so you will be staying in a private apartment.
Great.
There are no restaurants,
okay.
So you have to go with your food, or you need to buy some at some small food store in the town, and that will be your most isolated and rustic experience.
Right. Yeah.
Be prepared, but don't be scared, because it may be visually very depressive.
Okay.
But inside there are people with warm hearts.
Great. Okay. Oh, what's the do you know the population of Evensk? The rough population?
I believe it's about 1,200 people, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, we'll have to drink vodka while I'm there. You know, I like vodka, but would it be rude if I refuse while I'm flying around the world? So.
Because you're a pilot, you can always have an excuse that you need to fly tomorrow.
Okay.
So no vodka in the evening, because you will not be in the proper condition in the morning.
Yes.
So that's an excuse which everyone understands.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, what's the name of your son, Evgeny?
Alexander.
Alexander. Okay. Well, I've been talking to Alexander on social media. How was his flying coming along, and how old is he when he started flying?
Well, he started when he was 1 year old.
Wow.
Yeah, as a passenger, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the front seat, and he is also still, and will be, I believe, very involved in flying. He has about 1,500 hours by now.
Wow.
Being 15 years old.
That's amazing.
And he is just, he lives in the aircraft. It's what he enjoys a lot. So he's a pilot for sure.
He sounds just like me. Like I'm also in the aircraft unless there's again a coronavirus. So, but yeah, no, I'm always on flight simulator. So yeah, I mean, he seems very talented with his flying and everything. 1,500 hours, that's amazing for how young he is. I mean, will he be a record breaker too?
He has a dream. He has a dream to be the youngest helicopter pilot to make around the world. Great. He wanted to do it like you are doing it now, but we have a regulation which allows to start training for private pilot license only at 18.
Right.
So, but it still gives him a chance because there are no helicopter pilots who made around the world solo flight even at 19 or even at 20. So he has a dream and he is going pursuing his dream, and probably he will do it once.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll do it. You know, with turn 18, it won't take him long to get that license. He'll definitely get that record easily, I think. And can you send him my regards for me, please? I hope to meet him during my flight across Russia. Maybe I'll visit a school and he can translate or something. Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. For I will gladly send Alexander your regards, and I believe when you are in Moscow, he will be happy to assist you everywhere, bring you to his school. But I don't need you. You will need his assistance in translating because you are learning Russian, and that will be fine to talk to the audience in Russian like you will be talking to controllers. Let's try probably now.
Yeah.
Your English Russian communication with Russian controllers. Okay. I will be a traffic controller. Let's say in Magadan.
Yeah. Okay.
If you are ready, I will be a controller on the tower at Magadan Airport.
Yeah, I feel kind of nervous for it, but let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are approaching Magadan, and you are reporting to the tower that you are on final and you are ready for landing. So let's give it a try.
Okay.
I will be a traffic controller at Magadan Tower.
Okay.
And you will be reporting to me that you are on final and you are ready for landing.
Okay.
You start.
Okay. Okay. Magadan Vushka, 2 Sierra Oscar Lima Oscar, na premuje ka posadke gotov.
2 Sierra Oscar Lima Oscar, Магадан вышка, ветер 0,60, 5 метров в секунду, полоса 1,0, посадку разрешаю.
Posadka dla Rashenio opasa 1,0.
Great. Clear.
Давай.
No, it's really good. It's really good.
Great.
Absolutely understandable. Absolutely comprehensive.
I'm still learning. Yeah. And am I clear to land then? Is that did I pronounce it right then? I'm clear to land.
Yes,
yeah. Great. Well, I've been asking you all the questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I'm still very interested in your route, all the route across the globe. I know the Russian part, but I'm really curious how it will be all the way around. And I'm also very interested why it will be 2 circumnavigations you will be doing. What's the purpose?
Yeah, well, everyone's interested in my route, Evgeny. Well, you can see the actual route behind me here. And the criteria for actually a circumnavigation flight around the world is that I could take off from anywhere on my route as long as I take off and land at the same point of departure, around the world. Um, and I need to travel at least 22,858 miles. My route is currently 24,520 miles, but I plan to add 381 miles to that. To actually equal the actual length of the equator. And because it's at the moment, the plan for me is actually take off my local airfield at White Waltham, which is right here in the UK, and my aim is actually then land in Africa, just touch the African continent to add to my 5 continents that I'll be visiting, where I touch down in Tunis. Then I'll head back to Europe, stopping in Italy before heading to what was going to be Friedrichshafen for the big air show, but this has now been moved to July. So I'll actually be visiting Friedrichshafen after my around the world flight. So this stop will definitely change, which I will be looking at shortly. And then actually head your way to Poland, then Russia, through your amazing country, which I am actually really grateful for your services here. And then I crossed the Bering Strait down to over to Canada, then down through Canada, through the Rockies, through America, and eventually down to Ecuador, where I will actually cross the equator. After that, back up the US, the East Coast, to Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Scotland, and then back home. And so I'll be visiting 21 different countries, 5 continents, and 53 stops. And the reason for the second round the world flight is actually quite simple. I'll be returning to the US very soon after my around the world flight for the world's biggest air show in Wisconsin, in Oshkosh, at the end of July. And then after that, I'll actually be touring the US, doing speaking engagements, as well as some fundraising for UNICEF and, meeting other sponsors. And this will all finish off somewhere on the West Coast, maybe even Alaska. And so I'll actually nearly be halfway home. So why turn around and fly back the way I came when I've already flown 12,500 miles? So, the chance of doing something that only one person has ever done before was too good to miss, which is why I'm actually flying around the world twice. Well, I know we'll be talking again soon, Evgeny, but thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great talking to you, and I really look forward to visiting your country, visiting Russia, and your wonderful country. And I really can't wait to meet you and your family, especially in May or around that time. Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really, really happy to see your progress and you approaching this day X when you start your fantastic trip and achievement which you will be achieving, I believe. We will do our best to assist you here in Russia. We will be welcoming you in Moscow, and it will be great to meet you here when you come. You're very welcome, and we are waiting for you.
Well, that's great, Evgeny. Thanks again. It's been a great talk, and I'll talk to you again. See you next time.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, and see you soon in Moscow.
Great. And thank you everyone else for watching. Make sure you stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in next week's episode, next Monday.